basically, before I go into like what I do and who I am and whatever, I did, really just want to say that for me, it's just about, I don't plan on standing up here telling you guys something that you don't know or that you haven't heard. Nothing you're going to hear from me is going to be, in my opinion, profound in any way where it's like, wow, this guy, he must have like this magic, edition of the Bible that like speaks English to him and allows him to apply it in his life in like a real, sort of capacity. So I don't stand here in front of you as this person who like hit this level of like, this level of like Jesitude, where it's like I'm just, I have it going on. It's not about that. So.
That's a nice word.
Yeah, there's no Jesitude here. It's more, just about the way that I interpret things and the way that what I get out of it and what I do, and some of the and hanging out with mostly secular people or people who don't, see eye to eye with who and what I believe and how my faith and how I practice and worship or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I mostly hang out with people who aren't Christian, and also I hang out with people who say that they're Christian. I mean, everybody's Christian. Yeah, God's awesome. If you go to most other countries or a lot of states, Jesus is like Elvis. Like he's just like this good-looking dude that like winks at people and everybody's stoked on him. So I guess without like going further, and I digress. What I'm basically saying is, it's all about being real for me right now and in my life, and all real means to me is honesty, and that's pretty much the point. So who am I? Who's this guy standing in front of me? Well, I'm 28. I am from California. I play guitar. I do that. It's true. I play for the band The Almost. I've been in The Almost, helped form The Almost. I've been in The Almost since the beginning. The Almost is a rock band that started off as sort of an offshoot from that band Under Oath. I say that band Under Oath. They're metal horns. They're a notable band who, in the Christian, sect of music that have turned a few heads. They're heavy, whatever. That's awesome. As you know, a member of Under Oath is the singer of my band. That helped us out a lot. So automatically we started off on a Christian label, which works out because we're Christian dudes, and we really did want to make that like the focal point of what we're doing. And Aaron had this vision. Aaron's the singer of my band who's in Under Oath. He had this vision of like really kind of taking it a step forward or a step further than Under Oath does with the faith, and so it sort of became this sort of ministry or whatever. But like I said, we started off on Tooth and Nail Records, which is a Christian record label, and lo and behold, Virgin Records bought it up, just scooped the record up. We didn't have an option, or we didn't really even have a choice. They just kind of did it, and that's cool, and we're stoked on that. So it thrusted my band into like the real world of, hey, you're Christian and that's cool, but we're going to put you over here where like, you get played on the radio and you do these shows with bands who, they know you're Christian, or they don't care that you're Christian, or you're a mockery because you're just a joke because you're Christian and rock and roll. Why? What's the point? You can't even, can you put up your middle finger? Are you allowed to do that? No, well, then your band sucks. Get out of here. That kind of thing. So, and it really is like that. Like rock and roll is supposed to be played with, two middle fingers up, and I agree with that to some extent. But that's, and I'll get into that. But that's the point of Christianity. I kind of feel like it's not a literal two fingers up, but it's Jesus was, by definition, a dude who walked the earth, whether you believe in him or not. He was here. He did exist, and he really did. He really did. He was like the ultimate rebel, and I really do feel like if Jesus was around today, he would be at a place like the Victor. I'm not saying that because you guys are here and I'm trying to be like, get in there with you, like, the Victor's awesome, Jesus would be here. I'm saying like it's that thing where Jesus probably would have tattoos. He probably would be alternative, and he definitely would be at a rock show. I mean, he hung out with people who were brutal people. And I say brutal meaning like, his disciples weren't, the cream of the crop as far as people go. They weren't these amazing pillars of the community. They weren't. They just weren't. He hung out with, prostitutes and the people who needed him most. So that's where I like to start, as far as like the foundation of my faith and why I believe. That's sort of where I like to draw like my encouragement and my inspirato, if you will, when I start thinking about like, well, why this Jesus guy? Yeah, he had cool hair, that's cool, but why Jesus in my life? Why Jesus in rock and roll? Why be why get laughed at? Why be looked at in the rock and roll world that, like I said, we got kind of like thrown into unintentionally or unexpectedly right away? Why would I uphold that? How do I uphold that? So basically, this is how we roll and what we do. I stand here in front of you guys basically ready to tell you guys, I don't even know you, but I sin. It's what I do. It sucks. I don't like it. And what's worse, there's sins in my life that I don't care about, and that's a problem, because you sin and we're just like, but that sin's, it's cool, that doesn't hurt anybody. And this sin's like, I kind of feel bad about this sin. But the point is regardless of what side of the fence my sin falls on, it's sin just like yours, and just like everybody else, the guys in the suite next to us who don't know Jesus, or that have know Jesus and just choose not to follow or believe. There's no difference. And that's, when you strip me down to the core of my belief in that, me being a person, that's pretty much who I am and what I am. I'm a person who is no different than anybody else in this world, and anybody else at a rock show, or anybody else in a church. The only difference is between me and the guy down the street when it comes to Jesus or life, or whether or not I think I'm getting into heaven or not, is the only difference is, because God loves us all the same, the only difference is that I know better, right? So that, and I'm a servant because I know better, and that doesn't make me better, So when you start thinking about what that really means, and that's true, it is true. I'm sorry, I'm looking at you, but you're just kind of I'm not talking to you. I don't think you're a sinner.
I do.
You probably are. You probably are a sinner, but no, I don't. Sorry about that. But yeah. So that's sort of, that's an important thing to say. Everybody knows that everybody sins. Everybody shrugs their shoulders. Everybody sins. And sometimes we try to buy ourselves, we try to buy ourselves like a little bit of like, I don't know, maybe like comfort in the fact that everybody does it, everybody kind of does it. I kind of feel like that's true, but all that really means, you need to take that. It helps a lot in your life. I find that if you take that idea and that sort of feeling or thought and kind of channel that into what that means, then you're able to kind of look at I call normal people, secular people, or people who literally are looking at you like you're Christian and you're a joke because you believe in like this book full of sonnets and poetry that's just like ridiculous. You can literally have a conversation with them like a person. And that's what that's what me being here, that's what I think why I'm put on this earth, I think, and why I'm in a rock band who stands behind what we believe, is because I'm in a position, I've been blessed with this ornate ability to just be real and be a person, and just talk to people and be with people and just really love people, and that's awesome, because when you are able to, relate to people on that level of just, we're both people, we're Christian and all that, but you know what, we both like, Chick-fil-A. Why don't we see each other on that level of just like, we're both people, we both like music, rather than you're an atheist, I'm a Christian, this will never work. I cannot share waffle fries with you.